Come on in the room. Come on. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? This is Devon Mickey. I'm here at my brother's church, the Reverend Dr. Elder Dominic Wright, who just got me. But anyway, here at the Impact Center, I asked him, I want to do another presentation interview on the one and the only, one of my first teachers when I came to Norfolk State in 2000, the one and only Reverend Dr. David Booker. Now, if you don't know who this is, you're going to learn today. So as I'm talking, I guess he's doing his opening piece now. How you doing, Dave?
Great to see you, man. Great to see you.
Man, for those who don't know, this is Mr. David Booker. Man, tell us who David Booker is. Give us a little background on who you are. Just tell us.
Kid from Petersburg, Virginia. Moved to Richmond, middle school, high school. Came to Hampton Roads, go to Norfolk State. And kind of been here ever since.
Wow. So, man, every time I talk to someone, they say, man, you went to Norfolk State. I know you know Dave. I know Dave. I say, yeah, man. So coming, I guess, since you been in Virginia, what are some of the influences that you have? What do you do for a living?
Okay. I currently still work at Norfolk State. Not in the music department, but I'm actually working as a web designer and a art director, believe it or not.
What?
So, if you're creative, you're creative. So
you can't. Absolutely.
One way or the other. So, doing music weekends and nights, and doing web and graphic design stuff during the day.
Okay. So, what do you prefer? Like, when it comes to playing, are you an organist, keyboardist, piano player, xylophone? What do you prefer? Because you're like a dominant on all you do. What is your preferred?
It's weird. I started out on drums when I was 4. Just watching Kenny Taylor in Petersburg at my first church, Mount Calvary Church, which is known for great drummers coming through that lineage. Brandon Taylor, that's probably his uncle.
Wow, yeah.
So I got to sit and watch him and Jerry, who was the organist there at that time. So everything I do still is drums, but I just apply drum set ideas to other instruments. So I'm either singing something or I'm playing drums. I may be on a bass, I may be on a guitar, I may be on a piano or organ, but I'm still having drum conversations.
Okay. Would you mind giving us some type of example of what you mean on the piano playing of having a conversation playing drums?
Okay. Basic drum pattern, kick snare.
Wow. So you just, see, I got to remember that you taught, matter of fact, 17 years ago as a freshman when I came in, you taught me, you was my piano facilitator, the basic, I think it's lift every voice and, no, not lift every voice. I can't even remember the song. Yeah, Star Spangled Banner. I didn't play it like that though, but keep going, sir. Somebody said, okay, you're going to lift every voice and sing. What? Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So, what advice could you give to younger musicians that's starting off? I know that you taught. I don't know if you still teach now, but I know you always taught. Like you taught me the fingering and the execution of knowing your changes and stuff like that. What advice would you give to young musicians?
I guess the first thing would be definitely skills.
Mm-hmm.
Is, believe it or not, the basics. Like, don't try to do the extravagant stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Master the basics, almost like you play football or basketball. If your fundamentals are good,
Right.
The fundamentals in the middle of the other stuff you're doing is gonna really make you sound amazing.
Right.
So if your skills are fluid, doing them in thirds, doing them in sixes, doing them in contract motion. When you're playing anything else, because you've spent time slowly working on it,
Mm-hmm.
when you got a moment to actually put in your music, even for key changes. So having your scales solid, in thirds, sixes, tenths, and slowly working through those so that your hand's comfortable with all of the 12 keys.
Gotcha.
Anything you do in one key, try to slowly get used to playing in every key.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm doing so just a 1, 4, 1, 5, then try.
Mm-hmm.
So once you got it in all 12 keys, then mix them up. So say I'll do C, A flat, B, C sharp, A, F sharp, D. But get comfortable with switching quickly, because
Right.
if someone's preaching or someone's singing, say they're in between keys,
Mm-hmm.
you want to be able to take advantage of that moment.
Right.
So
Right.
it doesn't sound like they made a mistake. It sounds like it was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Right,
it would
right.
have been off, but you'll catch it quick and be like,
Mm-hmm.
you left the key, you can still.
Right.
can
Right.
quickly follow when they leave what's supposed to be happening.
Right.
So if they go somewhere else, you can mask it so nobody knew they messed up.
Wow, wow, that's good, practical, fundamental teaching. What is there such thing as a favorite key or in on the piano? Is there?
Yeah, B feels really good because of how close the keys are. So the hands is kind of flat up here. So compared to the other keys, that's the one where your fingers are the closest. So if your fingers are close, you can play the runs faster. C, believe it or not, is the hardest key. Even though it's the easiest one to learn theory on, it's the hardest one to play because there's no black notes to kind of let you know where you are.
Right.
The other ones have at least one black note, so you can close your eyes and still know where you are now. But C, you clueless. It's like, what note is that?
Wow.
But the other ones, you've got a black note in it, so the fact that black note is in there, you gotta have some black in there. That was so having that black note, it kind of helps out when you're just trying to navigate what feels good. C, in order to make that feel good, you kind of gotta play in the keys.
Right.
So you can't play way over here with some black notes. You gotta kind of go in, but that slows you down because now you're fighting with those black notes. So I would say easy answer, B is the favorite key in terms of footwork because it's the easiest one to fit under your hands. In terms of most of the music written, it would be A flat because most radio favorites are in A flat or C sharp. But that's another little cool trick.
Sure, sir.
Everything you do with one hand, so see if you can project it as a from the 1, 7, 6, 5, 4. So see if you can do the same thing. Or even do mirrored voicing. So I'm gonna do like a octave, 2 notes in the middle, octave, 2 notes in the middle. See if you can mirror your shapes. So being able to mirror your shapes, now you free yourself. So now what I would do in this hand, so I can do, so if I'm on organ, which we'll do later, then I can do my chords here, my foot's handling the bass stuff. I can be giving out parts here, so old school. So the old
Timmy, yes, I believe. Yeah.
Back when I was in high school. So, but it's and then learn bass lines. That's another trick. Listen to what the bass player is doing, and then get realistic bass line. And then once you start playing with bands, you'll listen for what the bass player is doing, and he'll give you everything else you got to play.
Gotcha.
Like you can cheat if the bass player is solid. It's an easy night.
Yeah. Who are some of your influences?
That list is long. I actually printed you out a PowerPoint. I've got like,
This is what I'm talking about. The teacher. Yes.
I got like 3 pages just of influences.
Wow.
Starting out, my mom, Jerry Taylor, Kenny Taylor, Shelton Smith. Those are all people from Petersburg. Then when I moved to Richmond, Anthony Old Sr. helped me out.
Wow.
Arthur Joni Bridges, John Fox,
Yeah.
really strong songwriter out of the Richmond area. And actually my cousin's first husband, he was a programmer. Like he would play video games and program tracks. So I got that skill set from watching him. Then before I came to college, Andrew Jones came down and did revival with what's his brother?
Al Jones?
Yes, his brother Al. And I was like, yo, this dude sounds amazing. And it was like, they're from Hampton Roads. So between hearing him and hearing Cedric Meekins, I was like, okay, I'm going to Norfolk State.
Oh, wow.
I want to be around these cats. Then I moved. While I got down here, then I heard about Stanley Edwards.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was like a Stanley Edwards stalker. I literally would be like calling him, like, hey, man, can you show me the song? I think I got on his nerves, but, you know, eventually, you know, he warmed up to me.
Yes, sir.
So while in college, Bam Nivens, he was another guy out of Richmond that was like, he was just amazing. Bobby Sparks played with Kirk Franklin, Kevin Bond. He actually came to Norfolk State with Tri-City.
Wow.
And that's when I started following him, when I actually got to see him play live. And he did Peggy Britt's first live recording, and I was like, it just changed the way I thought. So at that point, you know, sat under Chris Thomas for a year when I first moved down. At NSU, late John Mitchell, jazz pianist, Derek Harvin, he was playing at Revelation Tabernacle, and we were in undergrad together, so we did a lot of community choirs with Corey and Jonathan and those guys.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Wow.
Cedric Thompson, I liked what he did on Karen Clark's stuff, and actually I think what opened me up to him was him playing right division. And I was like, what is this guy doing with this left hand? So I was like, that crazy stuff. I was like, man, what are you doing? So that opened my eyes up. Chris Peace, he's actually a traveling organist. I think he's from Hampton Roads, but he had that New York sound. So me and Ron Braxton would hang out with him, and he would show us stuff at like at revivals when they would come in town. And then everything else is pretty much from records. So the old Milton Bronson stuff. So that's why I got Ray Beatty and Tyrone Dickerson and Ralph Lofton. It's 2 pages of stuff. I mean,
can I just pause? Listen, let me turn this around to me. Do y'all see this? This is the readiness of, and I just asked him to do this out of the kindness of his heart, and he came prepared. This is why this man taught me 17 years ago. I tell you, Bishop Payton said peace was out of Portsmouth.
Okay, all right.
Man.
Sure was, because his dad had a church there.
This is crazy.
So, and then once I got to college, it was a whole different set
Oh
of
yeah,
influences.
I see some familiar names.
So John Toomey at ODU, Dr. Hale Stork at Norfolk State.
Oh yeah.
Local people, Peggy Britt, the Fuzz Band, Industry Jazz Ensemble. Tony Hardy, he was actually in school with me at the same time. He was in grad school. I was an undergrad. Miss Geraldine.
Yes.
Phenomenal teacher. I still send people to her now. Like literally last week, I had 2 people call me and say, "Hey, I need lessons for my kids." I said, "Go see Miss Boone."
Yep.
Ernest Brown, which is my piano teacher there. Everybody else is like radio favorites that I listen to. So Brian McKnight, Teddy Riley, Marvin Gaye, that kind of thing. So
you were not segregated to just one genre. Is there a favorite? Because I know you. I know you play gospel, jazz, pop. You know, it's not too much that you can't play. Is there a preference? I mean, not being.
Well, this is a cool thing. From a liturgical standpoint, of course, the gospel is always going to be first.
Yes, sir.
However, being a musician, if I were only to play gospel, I would limit my ideas. With the exception to like the James Hall type stuff. But the issue I run into that is I can't do James Hall stuff for a normal church setting. So I'd be woodshedding, but I'd never be able to play it out.
Right.
So with the other styles, it's free game. It's whatever sounds good. It kind of goes down to what feels good with the music. So, for instance, when I studied Brian McKnight, I was really trying to figure out how is he holding these notes so long. In the midst of that, I learned some cool tricks like. But I was trying to figure out how he sings, but I was learning jazz stuff from his arrangements. So a lot of cats that I like, it was the singers and then the band that went with the singers. I just kind of incorporated some of that stuff into what I do.
Got you. Come on here. Part 3, yes,
Yeah, part
sir.
3. So this is mostly artists. So New Edition, Slick Rick, Usher, Michael Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Mary J. Blige, Faith Evans. Believe it or not, Wham. Huey Lewis and the News.
Yeah.
Because I'm a movie buff, so
Right.
stuff like Back to the Future. You know, you still remember those key songs that happened in the movie.
Yeah.
Billy Joel, Tribe Called Quest, KRS-One, Special Ed. You know, you got can't leave that stuff out. India Ari, and it's normally when a song comes out that just changes the game. So most of these people, when they got on the scene, they just changed what was happening. So Tony Braxton, Tony.
You got Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, and Glenn Lewis. It's only,
Yeah.
believe it or not, it's only one song for him that I'm familiar with, which was from the Made in Manhattan soundtrack. But it's the only song I have a reference that has the Neapolitan 6 in it. So the,
Wow. And the Neapolitan 6 is, for the people who don't know.
let's see if I can remember how that song goes. So, put myself on the spot. That's the melody. So he goes with some kind of inversion there. That's it. Alright, so instead of going to a regular 4, it's flat 7 major to a 5. So minor, so 6, 2, 5, 1. And then I should have prepared that. I knew he was going to ask me.
Man, so it's phenomenal how you can just think about the part in your mind, and then it gets to your fingers. You know, most people like me will have to practice just the thought of what we want to play for a while, but I guess when you've done it so long, and man, it's just phenomenal.
But some songs I've listened to, or certain records, like because it was so groundbreaking to what I heard prior to that, I listened to it a whole lot of times. So I just know it like the back of my hand. I didn't understand it yet.
Right.
Like Stevie stuff, I was 20 years in before I understood anything that was happening with Stevie.
Wow.
Like even when on I can play this and I don't know why it works. I was like, why, Stevie? I don't get it.
Yeah.
He's in B, but he plays this F11. So it's some stuff you absorb because it feels good and it sounds good, and you get the emotion that matches it.
Right.
You may not understand what's happening where you can explain it yet. So it'll become a part of your sound because you know what that feels like. It's another old song.
Tonight I celebrate.
And when it goes to the middle part. So when I heard that the first time as a kid, I was like, okay, what was that?
Yeah. Yeah,
At
that's
that moment I was like, this is 4. Now I can articulate it now. So minor 4, 6. But at the moment I was like, okay, I liked it.
yeah.
I can't tell you what it is, but I liked that moment.
Man.
And I would steal that moment from all of these different people on the list. So with Jerry, when I was a kid, he showed me that I was like 3 or 4 on organ.
Wow.
And I was like, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just mimicking what he showed me. So all of the different music that I listen to or I like, or singers or what have you, I'll just kind of find parts of what they do that I like and I borrow it. And then I'll develop it in the other 12 keys so it can become a part of what I do.
Could you show us just something that you have developed over the years and show us how you're not limited to just playing something, let's say if you learn it in C, just keeping it in C, how you can play that same line or that same style in other keys?
Okay, we'll use it's an exercise from Ty Tribbett's keyboard player, Paris Bowen, his keyboard player. He had an exercise, and then it goes to a major 6. So it's,
it amazes me how you can just think of what it is and just play it. Now being relevant to the church, to the church sound, what would be a song that you would hear traditionally growing up in church on the piano, like a good hymn, I guess, per se, that you would like to play, or that your mother or father would like to hear you play, or something?
Oh shoot, my mom's favorite would be, or one of them. Either I actually wrote it down, didn't I? Let's see. So we would do
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yes, sir. Now, can I ask you something? Now, we heard your approach to that song on piano. Can you do that same song on organ?
All right, let's do it.
And I'm going to turn this around. Listen, when I tell you all, if you need any type of knowledge about theory, you're getting a good lesson here. A good lesson here. Now, I asked Mr. Booker to play the same song that he just played on piano on organ, so you can hear the different in approach, how he does.
All right. And I'm a consummate student, so let's use.
What's important about the drawbars? I see you setting drawbars for those who are watching.
Okay. As a kid with the drawbars, I had no idea what they did. Mm-hmm. No idea. So I actually had a notebook that somehow disappeared, but I would actually, whenever an organist would come in town, or mm-hmm. I'd be at what's the church? Oh God, Andrew Jones Church.
Revelation?
No. His the one that used to be
down no,
movie theater.
not Carly.
It was on 30th
St. Andrews.
Yeah, St. Andrews. Whenever somebody came through there, because they had like the organ in town.
Yeah.
And ever I was around, I would just kind of before cell phones. Mm-hmm. So I actually would write down the numbers.
Right.
So I could keep those settings.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to KBD on Sunnyside Drive in Chesapeake. There's a guy there named Ralph who fixes organs.
Yeah, I know.
And he actually had one of the first digital B3s where you could see the numbers on the screen. So I actually went there and wrote the whole thing out. Mm-hmm. And I would just go practice the different manuals.
Right.
I had a 76 keyboard I sold for a B3 replica, a single manual, just so I could get that sound in my ear. So now I can kind of cheat because I remember a lot of those settings, and I still borrow from people. So, for instance, what I have here, just with the 8 and the 4, and I have this about 5 and maybe 3. So that'll be a getting started setting. Mm-hmm. This will be a more, a richer version of that. So this is like really basic. It's got a little more bite to it.
Yeah.
used to watch him. He told us about a guy named Jimmy Wyatt. I still have no idea who Jimmy Wyatt is, but he would use the stock settings that are in here.
Okay.
And one of our drills, when he would teach us, he would make us listen to the stock setting and then try to make a match.
Oh,
So that's how we learned how to get the stock settings and to actually listen to what each drop I was doing.
right.
So I could hear the desk. It's mainly those two, and then I would. Okay, you gotta draw by out, and just try to match it. So that one sounds more woody.
Wow.
Where's the wood? So this missing drawbar got that woody sound. So let's try that.
That's amazing.
Now the wood is still louder. So it must be the lower. There we go. Getting
Close.
It's a higher.
Wow. I've never.
That one's. Let's see. So that's got a lower octave I'm missing. So it's kind of close.
Right. Yeah, that's almost near close. Perfect.
It's one upper register that's missing.
Wow.
There it is.
Wait a minute.
So we would do that.
Mr. Booker, I've been playing the organ for a while. I've never seen this example done. Wow.
So that's how we would learn how to mimic these sounds.
The preset. Right.
And then Stanley Edwards, he was teaching, like, every room is different. So that setting sounds one way in this room.
Right.
In a different space, it's going to sound different.
Right.
So you got to still know how to adjust it from there as a starting point to still make it feel good in the other room that you're in. So, like, for instance, we're still doing that song, but if we're doing, like, testimony service, that would be my Stanley Edwards setting.
Okay. Stanley Edwards setting. Yes, sir.
So instead of that being all the way out on 8, he said push that back on 7. So it's there, but it's so it's not really bright. You got some husk underneath it.
Yeah.
And it's like really full.
And
I have it louder than the bass pedals. Like some guys have the bass pedals like that, but it's fighting the clarity of your chord. So I have the bass pedal slightly lower than your chord. So you still got, it still bites. Now, Chris Peace, his approach would be those. So he's churching, he's playing down here. So he's got whistle tones as opposed to that.
Right.
There. So
I used to see Calvin Austin use this setting right here a lot when it comes to like high church a moment.
Because it gives you this whistle. This segment is an octave lower, so you don't get that whistle.
Right.
Alright, so if I don't have a bass player, you can do, now this is like a jazz setting, 737 or 838. So what a mighty God we serve.
What a mighty God we serve.
And it's not so, it's really mellowed out, so you're not, the cymbal, like a drummer's playing with you, you're still like EQing. So the hi-hats and all of the cymbal work can be heard clearly over top of that for the tempo. Snares, you can hear that anyway, because snares is loud. But whatever he's doing on the cymbals, with that setting, and then circle. Tritone.
Right.
So whatever the bass is doing. F block chords or drums.
Okay.
So I'm still doing like.
So you're still
snare,
percussive.
snare. Yeah.
In-
Snare, kick, snare. So even if I don't have a drum,
Keep that constant tempo.
and it's sometimes like kick, snare, so your foot. But if you don't have a good pedal game, like if you're not really
Right.
solid on your pedal,
Right.
then you can cheat. So I just do a 2-5-1 in it. But you can only do certain stuff based on what singers you got. That won't grandma. That ain't gonna work with grandma.
No.
So that ain't gonna work with grandma.
Grandma going, what are you playing?
So even if you do the descendant, now what's another cool trick? I learned this one from Trina Washington from I think she's from Ohio. She would do some crazy mess like I'm in F, right?
Right.
She would set the drawbars where if I leave the white ones in, I'm not playing. That's not F anymore.
No, that's like 5 in there.
Yeah, that's C. So I can play. I got an F in my bass. I can play C chord. No, is it G chords? Let's see which one is it. Okay. So B flat. So I'm playing
B flat in.
B flat, but the sound is F major.
Cause the harmonics.
So I'm still doing. Yeah, I'm still doing a F bass.
Gotcha.
And it's just a weird stuff. So now mix that in. So I'm playing technically. Let me rewind this. So I'm playing like a F7 and a B flat 7 at the same time by just setting those drawbars like that. Crazy.
So it's amazing how much knowing the drawbars affects the overall. See, folks also don't know. I used to always think you just the first, like for salsa, that'd be pretty much.
Yeah, you can get that's really good for talk music.
Okay.
The 16 and the 8. But imagine the 8 is middle C. So this is middle C like on the piano. That's an octave lower. Same note.
Right.
So if I use this, I know I'm not gonna be playing my chords in the meat of the organ here. I'm gonna have to play an octave higher for it not to be muddy.
Gotcha.
So if I do like with just the 8,
You can play in the meat.
if I do this, that's too husky.
Yeah.
I can put some of it in it, so it sounds like I'm playing 2 boards now.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And it's only them 2 drawbars. So
Yeah.
but that works because of what's going on with the bass. All right, organ trick. 5-1, but instead of going like 5-1, 5-1, 5-1, we'll do, and I will do going down in chromatic. So going down like this. So I'm still doing 5-1 to A flat, 5-1 to F sharp, 5-1 to E, and at any point you can move it around.
Yeah.
So what's the song that's got that feel? So without the pedals, so now this is a whole movement. So let's do like, excuse me. And then you hit a key. Okay.
Charlie, you teaching me the organ, sir.
So remember we did the thirds on piano, the
Yeah.
scales. So thirds and sixes work really good on piano. So like if I just do it, just make that quieter. So I'm gonna make the top one louder, the bottom manual quieter. So it's like accompaniment and solo. I'm just doing a melody. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So now we've been doing everything on C3, which is the church setting. Most churches. Sometimes when you're doing slow music, believe it or not, you can put it on C1, turn both of those off, and it feels good.
So warm.
Yeah. The Lord is my shepherd. I have everything I need. What is that song? Lead me beside the quiet stream.
Now. All right. Well, Mr. Booker, we need for you just play something. If they ask you to do an organ tribute to, I don't know who is a good person. You pick somebody.
Jeez.
All right, Melvin Crispell, or someone. Well, you pick a person. Just give us something. Like they said, we're gonna have an organ solo by Mr. Booker. What would you do? It don't matter what it is.
Oh,
because you just gave us so much of wealth of knowledge about drawbars, settings, approaches, scales, patterns. How would you implement just what you just showed us?
Right,
somebody said Billy Preston. No, Steve Foster said Billy Preston.
Good, Jesus.
Or Eddie Brown. Somebody said.
Now he's not he's from another planet. So
yeah.
You can't really tribute Eddie Brown. He's on some. Yeah,
well, give us a David Booker.
Okay, let's find us. I don't know. Let's do. So I said B is good.
You in B? What key you say you in?
Let's do B.
Oh, okay.
All right. So this is
Can you do Great Is Our Faithfulness?
Okay. So C is out.
modulate a couple times if you want to. You can modulate a couple times.
John Peter played.
Yeah. Somebody just gave a request. Steve Foster said, "Can you do something by Richard Smallwood on the piano?" I know we pull you back and forth.
Let's go back to the piano.
Man, listen. Let me turn this around. I hope you all are in. Hold on. Oh, there you go. I hope you all are enjoying this. Man, there's so many different approaches to music, and I'm glad that you're able to see another side of this from the teaching aspect, because sometimes we get so caught up into the normal church, you know, the highs and lows, and trying to, you know, do good talk music, but you don't understand what you're playing, or you don't understand your organ, or you don't understand your manual, your foot pedals. And I hope you all are grasping what Mr. Booker is teaching. He's teaching, and he's not even trying to teach. So, in the words of Mr. Stephen Foster, hear ye him. Steve asked, could you play something, Richard Smallwood?
He didn't pick a tune. He should have picked.
Steve, he said pick a tune, Steve. No, Steve Church said we're gonna say Total Praise. Watch. Hurry up, Steve, or we gonna play whatever we want to play. Well, somebody give me a Richard Smallwood. Trust You. He said, can you play Trust You? Somebody said Holy Spirit, or
I did that at the opener. But they weren't here, so let's play.
Yeah. Or he said, I love the Lord, or Center My Joy. Booker, wow. tell you, I felt like I was on the Mr. Rogers episode. I felt like I was ready to take off my sweater. I was like, hello, boys and girls. Man. I'm telling you, that makes you feel so relaxed. Like, man, somebody said, can you play Always Remember Jesus?
Pick a key.
All right, Bishop Payton, he said, pick a key. This how you know when you good. It don't even matter the key. He just says, pick Z sharp. Nah, I'm joking. What'd you say? He said A natural.
Very good.
Go to B natural now. We're doing you all natural keys. My God. C natural. We do all the white keys, Mr. Booker. one is G natural? All right, don't play the piano no more. Don't play the piano more. Listen, who does that in all natural keys? No sharp, no flat. I mean, this is ridiculous, Mr. Butler. Now, I said Mr. Butler. That's because Mr. Butler just said you're a true beast across the board. Calvin also said, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
A lot of people saying, what's up? Ridiculous, crying tears. Now, listen, the way you just close us out on there, you have to close us out on the organ. On the same way. Then we done. This how hold on, let me ask the viewing audience. Is there any request for Mr. Booker to play? And this time, since he played on the piano in all white, we're going to ask him to do all black on the organ. Since he racist. No, he not racist. I'm messing with him. Anything, somebody said giant steps. No. Well. Steve said before you play the organ, can you play the alma mater?
Oh, yeah. I rearranged one of them.
Now, I know Steve is going to love this here.
Let's see. How does it go?
I'll campus site. Always give a call. Striving to succeed, forging onward bound to lead. And when you leave, we'll shed a tear.
How did Doc? He changed it.
Dr. Haywood changed the ending.
Well, when he did it the last time, he played it on pipe organ.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
And I remember he did that. He did the 5. And he did the 6 over to 5. It was maniacal.
Now, can you give us some more organ? Listen, I don't know how much, I don't know what more offering that we can do today. This has been by far one of the best of my interviews. I'm telling you. And he was like this 17 years ago when I came to Norfolk State. Ridiculous. Is there any requests on here before I say something? If you got a suggestion, type it real fast because time is far spent. We're trying to cut across the field, as they say in church. Hold to his hand. Time is filled with swift transition. You talking about time is filled with swift transition?
Yeah, you got two influences. I like that one.
Oh, let me turn the camera on.
I mean that pedal.
Somebody said, do you know anything about the Hawkins?
Let's see. Let's do change, maybe.
Okay. Somebody said God was a yes by James Hall. I ain't gonna tell you what Mr. Butler said. He said organ toccata infused by Bach.
Man.
I guess you.
If you write it out, I'll play it.
Man, you won't get it from me. John Peters coming out. Listen. That's all we have. I'm ready to go and go lay prostrate, but ain't no cranes around to pick me up, so I'm not going to do that. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate y'all hear the Mr. Rogers music in the background. Thank you, my friends, all the way from PBS. Nah, but seriously, y'all, share this video. We're trying to do something big next year. And matter of fact, Steve Foster, you know you want to help me. You know what I'm talking about. So y'all share this video, and every time you see something that's hashtag says When Tidewater Talks, I want you to share it, because I'm going to be showcasing one of Virginia's finest. I love you all. Thank you for staying tuned so long. Mr. Booker, thank you so much. Still doing it all these years. Wow. So that's all I have. Good night, y'all. Y'all have a good evening.